You have been taught to show strength, to fight openly, to demand what is yours. That is why you lose. You expose your intentions like a soldier who fires before aiming. You wear your hunger on your face. And those who understand power can smell that desperation long before you even enter the room. You mistake noise for dominance, visibility for control. You think victory is achieved by those who shout the loudest or stand the tallest. But listen carefully. Power does not belong to those who win loudly. It belongs to those who can disappear into defeat and still command from within it. The mask of control is not worn by those who boast of it. It is worn by those who pretend to surrender, only to command the direction of surrender itself. You have been taught to hate losing. You have been conditioned to associate it with weakness, humiliation, or failure. Yet the greatest strategist knows that apparent defeat is the most exquisite disguise of all. When your enemy believes you are broken, he stops defending himself. When he sees you retreat, he lowers his guard. And when he sees you humble, he forgets that humility can be a weapon. This is how the serpent coils. This is how the invisible hand closes around the throat of victory while pretending to tremble. You have lived your life trying to win directly. But direct victories are for amateurs. Every general knows the same truth. The straight path is a trap. When you attack head-on, you reveal your resources, your plan, your emotional state. You expose your supply lines to observation, your intentions to analysis. The wise do not march forward. They withdraw, feign collapse, disorient the observer, and then strike from the shadows. You are not defeated because you are weak. You are defeated because you show strength before the time has come. You waste energy signaling what you should conceal. The powerful man hides his will behind masks, obedience, concession, even submission. The weak man tries to dominate through display, and thus becomes predictable, readable, and easily controlled. What you call pride is nothing but a loud signal of insecurity. You are still a pawn trying to look like a king, unaware that the real kings never sit on the board, they move it. Look at your life. Every failure, every humiliation, every manipulation, was it truly misfortune? Or was it lack of discipline in the art of disguise? You sought control through confrontation. You wanted to command through direct assertion. You thought that clarity of purpose was strength. But clarity is a weapon only in the hands of those who can sheath it. To expose it too soon is suicide. Machiavellian strategy dictates that a weapon hidden is 10 times more lethal than a weapon displayed. You have been taught by moralists that truth and transparency make you noble. But nobility is a virtue designed by the powerful to keep you obedient. Transparency disarms you. When your intentions are visible, others can predict you, manipulate you, and lead you to act against yourself while believing you are free. I once warned that men should be either caressed or crushed, never half-conquered. But your soul has been half-conquered by ideals. You serve your emotions while claiming to master them. You obey the code of appearances while believing you are free of it. That is not freedom. That is conditioning engineered obedience, masquerading as morality. To win, you must become fluent in appearances. You must master the delicate art of false surrender. You must know how to bow without breaking, to retreat without losing position. The true strategist uses defeat as camouflage. Each apparent loss is a withdrawal into deeper power. You let others believe they have triumphed, while you silently redirect the field of play. You bleed deliberately to study the predator's pattern. You suffer willingly to understand the geometry of his mind. You pretend to lose so that victory will approach you without fear. When I observed princes rise and fall, I saw one pattern again and again. Those who wanted to win immediately were devoured by their own haste. The wise ones learned to lose strategically. They disguised control as compliance. They let their rivals celebrate false victories until their arrogance became the very rope of their execution. You think victory is a single moment. It is not. Victory is a long decay, the gradual erosion of your enemy's clarity while you maintain yours beneath a mask. You live in a time obsessed with visibility, every thought exposed, every emotion declared, every plan broadcast. You wear your heart like a banner. But the visible man is the easiest to destroy. The invisible man governs through whispers. Power does not need to announce itself. It simply redirects the energy of those too proud to conceal their ambition. The man who knows how to lose publicly can win privately. Repeatedly, silently, he lets others exhaust themselves chasing the illusion of triumph while he harvests the consequences of their blindness. What you call losing is often only a withdrawal of visibility. To the ignorant, that looks like failure. To the strategist, that is simply repositioning. The battlefield of life is not a straight line. It is a field of shifting fogs. The one who adapts, who retreats to observe, who allows the enemy to advance into confusion, he is the one who commands the invisible lines of power. The appearance of defeat disorients your opponent more effectively than any direct attack. Because when he believes he has broken you, his guard drops, and his discipline collapses. That is the moment to strike not with emotion, but with surgical precision. Your emotions are your loudest enemies. They betray your strategy before you have even begun. You think anger proves strength, that passion demonstrates authenticity. It does not. Passion is a broadcast. Anger is a flare that signals your location to the enemy. The man who truly controls does not explode. He absorbs, calculates, and counterattacks only when the other side has lost its rhythm. I have seen entire kingdoms collapse because a ruler could not delay his satisfaction by one more day. I have seen generals win battles yet lose the war because they mistook reaction for strategy. You must not react. You must orchestrate. If you would rule, even over your own life, you must become a mask. Behind that mask, you observe. You allow others to project their illusions onto you. They will call you humble, broken, submissive. Let them. Their assumptions become your shield. Every misreading of your weakness is a misstep in their own calculation. The longer they underestimate you, the tighter your grasp becomes. You are not playing a game of chance. You are conducting a slow entrapment of perception. You have lived as if power were something visible, measurable, celebrated. It is not. True control operates below perception. It manipulates the emotional climate of those around you until they act according to your will, believing it is their own. This is the essence of winning by pretending to lose. You make the world carry your strategy for you. You plant the idea of your defeat, and the world organizes itself around helping you recover. But recovery was your conquest all along. You must understand this clearly. Control is not about domination. It is about direction. The hand that appears weak but subtly redirects. Others' force achieves more than the one that strikes hardest. You must not be addicted to the feeling of control. You must learn the discipline of control through absence. A true manipulator governs without effort, because those he manipulates believe they are free. That illusion is your armor, your strategy, your triumph. This is not the morality you were taught. It is not comfortable. It demands that you abandon the childish need to appear righteous. Righteousness is a mask used by those who cannot win otherwise. Power requires flexibility, cold precision, and the ability to wear masks that contradict your inner state. To pretend to lose is to practice the ultimate patience. To watch the crowd mock your retreat while you prepare their downfall, that is mastery. Your current life is filled with unnecessary battles. You try to convince, argue, prove, assert. All this is noise. Every word you use to prove yourself drains your unseen authority. Silence, on the other hand, multiplies it. Every moment you appear submissive while planning quietly, your command grows. The battlefield rewards patience disguised as defeat. Your ego will scream against this. It wants validation, acknowledgement, applause. But applause is the sound of slaves congratulating each other for still being in chains. Let them cheer their illusions. You are not here to be loved. You are here to direct. Remember this always. Losing publicly gives you privacy to build silently. No one attacks what they believe has already surrendered. By pretending to lose, you retreat from the spotlight into freedom. From that position, you can rebuild without scrutiny. That is the greatest strategic position of all to be underestimated. The underestimated man is invisible, and the invisible man is invincible. You crave control, yet you chase it like a beggar chasing coins scattered by the wind. You do not understand what control is, and that ignorance has enslaved you. You think control means dominance, loudness, possession. You believe it is gained through confrontation, through winning arguments, through victory that others can see. That is why you are weak. The man who needs others to see his control has already lost it. True control is invisible, like the hand beneath the puppet. You cannot fight what you cannot see. You cannot resist what feels like your own choice. That is the mask of control, the ability to command while appearing compliant, to rule while being ruled, to lead others into serving your design while they believe they are serving their own. You have never been taught to think this way because your teachers were afraid. They spoke of virtue, not strategy, of peace, not power. They told you to be good, obedient, transparent. But that was their way of taming you. Society rewards obedience, disguised as morality. It praises those who expose their weaknesses, who share, who express, who are honest. Honesty is a virtue only for the powerless. For the powerful, it is suicide. You do not owe the world your truth. You owe yourself your survival. The world feeds on the visible heart. It extracts your power through confession. Every time you explain yourself, you surrender your leverage. Power thrives in ambiguity. The more uncertain others are about your true intentions, the more space you have to maneuver. Predictability is the death of influence. Those who always act honorably are easy to anticipate, easy to manipulate. But the one who can lose gracefully, who can retreat strategically, who can yield without resentment, that one becomes unreadable. And unreadable men are feared. They are labeled cold, calculating, heartless. Yet those are the words of the defeated, trying to moralize their own failure. Do not mistake coldness for cruelty. Coldness is discipline. It is the armor that protects your strategy from the poison of emotion. You must observe yourself as you would observe a rival army. Assess your weaknesses, your emotional supply lines, your blind spots. Most of your life's defeats came not from others' strength, but from your own lack of internal reconnaissance. You did not know the terrain of your own mind. You rushed into battles without knowing which part of yourself would betray you first. You let guilt, pride, and moral vanity command your army. You lost not because your enemies were stronger, but because your emotions were louder than your calculations. Understand this: people are not rational. They are emotional creatures pretending to be logical. If you wish to control them, you must not fight their emotions. You must direct them. A general does not argue with the weather. He uses the wind to his advantage. You must do the same with human nature. When you appear defeated, you evoke pity, comfort, superiority, emotions that disarm vigilance. Pity turns enemies into allies. Superiority blinds the arrogant. The wise man allows others to feel powerful over him because their feeling is his leash. He can steer them with it. That is why the mask of control is so dangerous. It reverses the direction of power without confrontation. The one who pretends to lose directs the battlefield through emotion, not assertion. The one who insists on winning directly exposes his own hand, while the disguised strategist manipulates perception itself. And perception is the true theater of power. Reality is never objective. It is always interpreted. Control the interpretation, and you control the event. Let others see what they want to see. Feed them the illusion of your defeat, and they will narrate your story in a way that benefits your strategy. Machiavellian strategy dictates this: to truly control, you must make others complicit in your illusion. The enemy who believes he has triumphed will protect your disguise. The ally who believes he saved you will fight to defend your weakness. The crowd that believes you are harmless will never resist your ascent. And when the moment comes to reveal your power, it will be too late for them to react, because they will not believe what they see. That disbelief is your final weapon. You must, therefore, cultivate invisibility as your greatest virtue. The art of pretending to lose is the art of disappearing strategically. The weaker you appear, the less attention you attract. The less attention you attract, the freer your movement becomes. Power thrives in silence, in absence, in shadow. You cannot be stopped if you are not seen. Every public display of strength narrows your range of movement. Every loud declaration of victory gives your opponents a coordinate to attack. But if you let them think you have fallen, they cease their pursuit. In that pause, you reposition, you rebuild, you strike. You live in an age where everyone wants to be seen, admired, celebrated. They expose their plans, their desires, their fears. They live as open books. But open books are meant to be read, and once read, they are predictable, controllable, and disposable. The truly strategic man is a sealed book. No one knows what he feels, what he plans, what he desires. He shows fragments of emotion only when it serves a function. Every word, every reaction, every silence is measured. To the emotional man, this looks cold. To the strategist, it is simply order. The moment you learn to control perception, you can lose without losing position. You can step back without retreating. You can let others believe they've beaten you while you quietly dictate the rhythm of their next move. They dance to your tempo while thinking they lead. That is the perfection of control. Most people fail because they are obsessed with being right. You must abandon that obsession. Being right is irrelevant. Being effective is everything. If you must appear wrong to achieve control, accept it. If you must accept blame to preserve your influence, accept it. The world rewards those who can endure the temporary humiliation of strategy. The battlefield does not care about fairness. It only records who remains standing when the smoke clears. Control, requires emocional, endurance. You must be able to tolerate misunderstanding, mozzere, and false defeat without breaking. You must accept that the crowd will never understand your silence, that the weak will call you manipulative, that the naive will call you heartless. They are right. In a way, you have chosen clarity over comfort. Mastery over approval. You do not serve emotion, you direct it. You do not react to power, you produce it. If you look back at your life, you will see that every loss that truly destroyed you was one you took personally. Emotionally, the wound was not external, it was internal rebellion against reality. You wanted the world to reward your goodness, your honesty, your effort. But the world rewards leverage, not virtue. It obeys pressure, not purity. You cannot negotiate with reality. You can only manipulate its variables. When I wrote that it is better to be feared than loved, I did not mean fear in its primitive sense. I meant psychological respect, the understanding that your boundaries are invisible, but absolute. You can only achieve that through mastery of perception. When you pretend to lose, you are not feared, but you are underestimated. And underestimation is a quieter form of fear, the kind that works in your favor. People do not attack what they do not consider dangerous. Let them believe you are harmless, and you will move through them, like wind through smoke. Your power will never come from force. It will come from direction. You are not meant to overpower others. You are meant to outlast them. Life is a war of attrition, and the one who can endure silence, slander, and solitude without flinching eventually commands the ruins. Every rival exhausts themselves in noise. You win by endurance. You pretend to lose, so they stop fighting. You remain still while they self-destruct. And when their resources are gone, you step forward, calm, preciso, inevitable. But make no mistake, pretending to lose is not the same as surrender. It is discipline disguised as defeat. It is control expressed through stillness. The crowd will never understand this, because they measure progress by motion. You must measure it by positioning. If your retreat gives you a better vantage point, it is not a loss, it is a flank. If your silence gives you knowledge of the enemy, it is not passivity, it is reconnaissance. The battlefield belongs to those who can see, while others are blinded by their own noise. Do not seek validation for your strategy. Seek effectiveness. The validation of fools is a curse. Their applause is a leash. You must be able to walk through the valley of misjudgment without looking back. When they mock your loss, you will smile inwardly, for you know what they do not. Your defeat is the seed of their downfall. The time will come when your silence becomes unbearable for them. They will demand reaction, emotion, explanation. Do not give it. The one who speaks second controls the frame. Let them expose their motives, their insecurities, their impatience. Each word they speak is a map of their weaknesses. You can only read it if you remain still. You must begin to think like a commander, not a victim. Every situation, every betrayal, every failure, every humiliation must be seen as a field operation. What is the terrain? What are your available forces? What emotions are the enemy's supply lines? Who holds the high ground of perception? You must approach even your personal life with this clarity. The world is not moral, it is strategic. It does not reward your pain, it rewards your positioning. You want control, but you do not yet deserve it. Because control is not given to the emotional, the impulsive, the reactionary. Control is not achieved by desire, it is achieved by design. And design demands restraint. Every fool can act, few can refrain. You think your silence is weakness. You think restraint means submission. That is your conditioning speaking the indoctrination of those who wanted you predictable. But silence is not surrender. Silence is pressure building in the depths of the earth. Restraint is not compliance. It is containment of energy until the moment of release. The one who knows when not to act is more dangerous than the one who always does. You were trained to believe that showing strength would keep you safe, but the display of strength invites challenges. The appearance of weakness, however, disarms them. When a lion appears wounded, the hyenas rush in, not realizing that the lion's wound was a trap. He lets them approach too close. He sacrifices appearance for advantage. That is the game you must learn to play. Pretending to lose is not a form of cowardice. It is bait. You lure the proud, the loud, the reckless into overextension. Then you close the distance with surgical precision. The battlefield of power is psychological, not physical. It is not fought with armies, but with perceptions. You do not win by crushing the enemy's body. You win by corrupting their confidence. You do not destroy their resources. You destroy their rhythm. When they act without calculation, when they burn their energy in arrogance, they are already lost. You simply wait. You let them believe they control the tempo, while you manipulate the terrain beneath their feet. When I observed rulers in Florence, I saw this truth play out endlessly. Those who displayed control lost it, and those who appeared defeated gathered it. The visible king becomes a target. The invisible one becomes a myth. When you wear the mask of defeat, you remove yourself from the map of threat. The powerful turn their attention elsewhere, and you are left to operate in peace. That peace is your fortress. The storm above distracts others while you dig tunnels beneath them. You must cultivate the art of misdirection to appear simple when you are calculating, indifferent when you are absorbing, defeated when you are positioning. The power of illusion lies in rhythm. Humans are rhythmic creatures. They seek patterns, break their rhythm, and they lose their sense of control. You must learn to disrupt perception subtly, not with dramatic gestures, but with small inconsistencies that disorient those who watch you. Smile when expected to be angry. Agree when expected to resist. Withdraw when expected to advance. Each of these small reversals creates uncertainty, and uncertainty is a virus. It infects confidence, érodes jugement, and isolates the opponent within their own assumptions. Do not fight your enemies directly. Let them fight their expectations. Let them destroy themselves in confusion. You must master the psychological terrain, the inner battlefield where emotion and logic collide. The man who can control perception does not need to control events. The events will obey the direction of perception. The weak man demands acknowledgement. The strong man manipulates invisibly. You must learn to rule from the shadows. Visibility is vulnerability. Every spotlight is a crosshair. Every word you speak is ammunition for someone else. You must learn to communicate through implication, through silence, through gestures that can be interpreted in 100 ways. Ambiguity is your armor. It allows you to exist in multiple positions simultaneously. You can be loyal and treacherous, strong and weak, friend and enemy, depending on what the situation demands. You think this duplicity makes you false. It does not. It makes you effective. The world does not reward sincerity. It rewards adaptability. Truth is not an absolute. It is a tool. Use it when it strengthens your position. Conceal it when it weakens you. You owe no one the weapon of your clarity. The man who exposes his full truth arms his enemies with knowledge of his structure. The wise man reveals only fragments enough to mislead, never enough to be read. When you pretend to lose, you gain access to information that victory would conceal. The triumphant are blinded by noise. They stop observing. The defeated see everything. When others gloat, you study. When they relax, you record. When they boast, you plan. This is how empires fall, not through invasion, but through arrogance. Power intoxicates, visibility paralyzes. You, pretending to lose, remain sober and invisible. The mask of control demands patience. It is not an act performed for moments, but a discipline sustained through seasons. You must outlast the world's hunger for reaction. They will provoke you, test you, insult you. They will interpret your stillness as weakness. Let them. Every insult is an opportunity to gather intelligence. Every provocation you ignore robs them of control. The man who cannot be provoked cannot be manipulated. He becomes unreadable. And the unreadable man commands fear without ever showing it. Consider this carefully. Every time you react, you obey. Reaction is submission disguised as self-expression. The crowd calls it authenticity, but it is only predictability in costume. They push, and you push back. That is control transferred. But when you refuse the stimulus, when you absorb the energy instead of reflecting it, you become the center of gravity. They orbit you without realizing it. Control is gravitational. It does not chase, it attracts. It does not shout, it pulls. It does not demand obedience, it creates dependency. To win by pretending to lose, you must make others depend on your apparent surrender. Your compliance becomes their comfort. They will seek it. They will need it. And dependency is the softest form of domination. You do not have to force them to serve you. They will volunteer to. You have been conditioned to equate control with resistance, but resistance only strengthens the thing resisted. If you push against power, it grows aware of you. If you flow around it, it forgets your existence. This is the essence of invisibility, not to disappear, but to become unassailable. The enemy cannot destroy what he cannot locate. Machiavellian strategy dictates, control is not possession. It is influence. Possession is static. Influence is alive. Possession can be taken. Influence seeps through every barrier. When you pretend to lose, you allow your influence to spread. You become part of your opponent's mind. They begin to anticipate you even in your absence. They carry your presence like a shadow. That is the ultimate control, to be unseen, yet unavoidable. You must learn to take losses deliberately. Not every battle is worth victory. Some defeats are investments. Lose a battle to win the terrain. Yield the argument to win the allegiance. Suffer insult to expose the arrogance of the insulter. Each act of submission must be chosen, not imposed. Then it is no longer submission, it is positioning. Do not confuse strategy with cowardice. The coward retreats from fear. The strategist retreats from calculation. One is ruled by emotion, the other rules emotion. Every true general knows that retreat is not the end of war, it is reorganization. While others celebrate their small triumphs, you reload unseen. You must abandon the need for recognition. Recognition is the hunger of the powerless. The true commander does not crave acknowledgement, because acknowledgement limits him. When others begin to name your power, they begin to study it. When they study it, they begin to understand it. And what is understood can be neutralized. Do not seek to be understood. Seek to be misread. The more your intentions are misinterpreted, the more control you retain. Let the crowd see what they wish to see. Let them think you are lost, confused, broken, harmless. Let them construct their illusions around you. You will move within those illusions unseen, untouched, unrestricted. Their perceptions are your camouflage. They will never attack the mask that flatters them. Your greatest danger is impatience. You want results, acknowledgement, Revenge. But revenge is emotional, and emotion ruins precision. The strategist does not seek revenge, he seeks correction. The difference is discipline. Revenge wants satisfaction, correction wants stability. You must stop living for satisfaction. You must start living for leverage. Satisfaction fadis. Leverage endurance. In the end, control belongs to those who can delay gratification longer than anyone else. Every empire, every dynasty, every powerful mind was forged in the discipline of delay. The crowd chases pleasure, the commander waits for timing. Pretending to lose is simply another form of waiting a deliberate pause before the storm. And when the storm comes, you must strike without hesitation, without emotion, without apology. The mask falls only once at the moment of conquest. Every minute before that, you are still the student of perception. Every breath, every pause, every apparent failure is part of your orchestration. You must understand this fully. Pretending to lose is not deception. It is revelation in slow motion. It is the art of allowing others to destroy their illusions at their own pace. You are not lying to them. You are letting them lie to themselves. And the man who allows others to live inside their lies governs them absolutely indoors. You must now face the truth without comfort. Everything that has enslaved you was self-inflicted. No master chained you. You chained yourself to ideals, to impulses, to illusions of fairness. You surrendered your command because you feared the silence of true control. You wanted to be seen as good, as strong, as right, and so you became predictable. Every moral declaration, every emotional confession, every righteous defense made you transparent. And transparency is death to power. The mask of control begins with self-erasure, not of your being, but of your visibility. You must strip away the need to be understood, admired, or loved. These are currencies for the powerless. The ruler deals in obedience, not affection, to win by pretending to lose. You must first detach from all emotional economies. You must no longer trade sincerity for sympathy, nor prove for validation. You must learn to live beneath the noise, like a current, moving silently under waves of chaos. You were taught that control means forcing outcomes. That is childish. Control means shaping the environment, so outcomes unfold according to your rhythm. You do not push the world, you tilt it. Every word, every gesture, every silence becomes a subtle manipulation of gravity. Others stumble toward the conclusions you desire without ever feeling your hand. They think they are free, but their freedom dances inside your frame. This is what I have always meant by the art of rule: to move men's minds without raising your voice, to shape the future by shaping perception. When you pretend to lose, you exit the game of force entirely. You begin to operate in the theater of belief. You stop fighting for territory and start commanding narratives. The battlefield shifts from the field to the mind. You become untouchable because you no longer fight on the same plane. The visible warriors clash and bleed, but you remain unseen, rewriting the definitions of victory itself. To reach this state, you must kill your emotional identity. You must stop identifying with your feelings as truth. They are signals, not commands. Anger, humiliation, despair. These are reports from the battlefield of your psyche. They are not orders. You must treat them as intelligence, analyze, classify, and use them. The moment you obey them, they become your generals, and you become their soldier. That is how most men live, enslaved to the chaos within. Calling it authenticity, you are no longer allowed that luxury. You will begin to feel a certain detachment, a cold clarity. It will frighten you at first. You will think you are becoming cruel, unfeeling, mechanical. Good. That fear is the last resistance of your old conditioning. Once it dies, your mind will sharpen into an instrument of precision. You will see people not as moral beings, but as movements, emotional vectors, trajectories of need, fear, and vanity. You will understand them completely, and in that understanding, you will rule them. The mask of control is not a disguise you wear for others. It is a system you install within yourself. It regulates your impulses. It prevents your emotions from commanding your army. Every word you say becomes a calculated missile. Every silence becomes a fortress. You will feel your power expand not in moments of action, but in moments of restraint. That is when you truly command the battlefield, when you can look at your enemy, burning for reaction, and give him none. To win by pretending to lose is to master the art of redirection. You no longer resist attacks. You reroute them. When others attempt to wound you, you let their energy pass through. You observe their rhythm, their need for your reaction. You let them empty themselves into the void. The fool who seeks to humiliate you exposes his own weakness in the process. The one who thinks he has destroyed you becomes addicted to your defeat. Let him. You are rewriting the script of his ego while remaining invisible. When your enemies believe you are beaten, they stop strategizing. Their pride becomes their blindness. You can then re-enter the field unnoticed. In another form, you become like smoke, changing shape, ungraspable. You no longer defend positions, you occupy minds. They will speak your name with contempt, but their thoughts will orbit you. That is victory, not applause, not revenge gravity. The ability to make others revolve around you even when they despise you. Machiavellian strategy dictates that the highest form of control is not domination but necessity. When others need your presence, your approval, your silence, that is when you have achieved supremacy. You can create this necessity by controlling perception. Let them believe you are the only one who understands them. Let them feel superior in your defeat. Let them build their identity around saving, guiding, or outsmarting you. You have not lost. You have embedded yourself in their self-concept. They will never escape you. You must learn to weaponize humility. Real humility is not weakness. It is camouflage. The powerful man lowers his head, not in submission, but in strategy. When the world believes you are beneath them, it stops watching your hands. You can operate without resistance. Let them call you naive, foolish, broken. Their mockery becomes your invisibility, cloak. Every insult is an energy transfer. They invest attention, and you harvest insight. Remember this, your emotions are the enemy's spies. Each uncontrolled reaction sends intelligence across enemy lines. You must execute them without mercy. When you feel anger, isolate it. When you feel humiliation, study it. Each feeling reveals a breach in your defense. Seal it. You will know you have achieved control when nothing can provoke you, when no humiliation can move you, when silence feels like dominance. The world does not understand the power of stillness. The crowd mistakes motion for progress. They rush. They boast. They flail. Let them. You will move like water unseen. Patient. Inevitable. You will not resist. You will erode. You will not conquer. You will absorb. And when the flood finally comes, they will not even realize it was you who shaped the tide. This is the paradox of power. The more visible your control, the weaker it is. The strongest command is the one never issued. The truest influence is the one mistaken for chance. You will learn to engineer coincidence. You will make your desired outcomes seem natural, spontaneous, organic. Others will call it luck. You will know it was design. But beware, with such clarity comes isolation. Few can stand beside the strategist for long. They crave warmth, certainty, confession. You will have none to give. You will begin to move through the world like a ghost, calm, calculating, detached. But in exchange, you will possess what others spend their lives begging for: autonomy, the power to decide your own rhythm, the freedom to never react, never explain, never chase. You will walk through defeat as if it were theater, for you will know that every loss is rehearsal. You will kneel in humiliation and still hold the throne within your mind. That is the discipline of invisible influence. That is what it means to win by pretending to lose. And now you must choose. You can return to your old life, emotional, predictable, chained to the illusions of fairness and morality. You can keep shouting your worth into the void, demanding recognition from those who use your transparency against you. You can keep fighting every battle, wasting your strength in the noise of reaction. And you will remain what you have always been, a pawn mistaken for a player. Or you can choose to disappear, to become the silence that commands the noise, to mask your control, not hide it, but refine it until it becomes indistinguishable from nature itself. You will learn to let others think they lead you, while they march precisely where you want them to go. You will lose deliberately to advance unseen. You will die in image to live in command. Do not seek comfort in this path. There is none. There is only clarity, discipline, and distance. But those who walk it become architects of their own fate. They no longer play the game, they design it. You can be one of them, or you can remain where you are, loud, desperate, transparent, ruled by your need to be seen. You must choose to remain a prisoner of reaction, or to become the master of rhythm, to keep fighting to win, or to learn the ancient secret that the surest way to victory is to pretend to lose. Now, strip your pride, remove your noise, erase your name from the crowd's memory, withdraw from every emotional battlefield that drains you. Stop proving, stop reacting. Let them believe what they want. Let them laugh. Let them declare you finished. Let them bury you beneath their arrogance. And as they turn away, believing they have conquered you, watch quietly. Study their movements. Wait for the pattern to reveal itself. Then move. Move not with rage, but with inevitability. Move not with emotion, but with design. Move as the shadow moves, patient, invisible, unstoppable. And when the time comes, when their laughter fades and their confidence collapses, you will be standing where you have always belonged, not above them, not beside them, but beneath everything they depend on. That is control. That is power. That is how you win, by pretending to lose.